Hi, people. Hope everybody's enjoying their weekend. Do me a favor, hit that like button down there. It's down there. You see it. And if you do, you automatically be entered to win yourself a new Q-tip. Make sure you guys check out Apex Alchemy, small channel, and YouTube algorithms is really just absolutely trashing him, man. So let's give him a little support. Make sure you check out DNK Knives. They are in Cave Creek, Arizona. They have an excellent website. That's who sent me this knife to check out. It's very much appreciated. There will be a link in the description, as usual, for that. And also a coupon code you can use on that website, Behind the Edge 10, and that will get you 10% off of your purchase. Make sure you guys subscribe. There's also a link for Patreon in the description if that interests you as well. Also, DNK Knives, they have a rewards program kind of like the other retailers, so that's pretty cool too. Today we are going to talk about the Heretic Knives Colossus. Right off the bat, I'm going to go ahead and say this knife is not colossal. It's not small, but it is most definitely not colossal, which implies that it would be huge. This is the Cleric 2 that is much bigger. So there's that. A little bit of information. So the name might shoo people away from wanting this knife because they don't want a big knife, but it is definitely not that big. It is 3.5-inch blade, and let's see what it weighs here real quick with G Unit. My man G Unit here. Alright, we are coming in at 4.5 ounces. So it is not light, but it is not super heavy either. This is a USA made out the front and what they send with it in the packaging, like the others, is the lube, and that's about it. And you get the knife, of course. Packaging's pretty good, but you know, nobody really cares about the packaging. It is a Magna Cut blade. It is a single edge, and it is hollow ground. So that helps get it a much thinner edge, so it will be much better at cutting. Most out the fronts are absolutely notorious for being terrible cutters. I have not tried to cut with this because it is not mine. I have to send it back to DNK. So, you know, if I ever get one across my table that belongs to me, I will definitely do some cutting with it. Button is slightly aggressive, but it works well. It's not that big a deal, but it is a thing in case somebody wanted to know. We're going to talk about the handle here. It is aluminum. It is contoured, and it has like this tread tape inlay. It's literally just like tread tape that you would put on your steps or something. But it seems to be done very well, and it is extremely grippy, which is cool. Has your T8 hardware, or T10, I'm sorry. Clip is reversible, and it works well. It's much better than the one that is on the Cleric 2. This glass breaker is removable as far as I can tell. I think you have to take the chassis apart to remove it. So, but that's not a big deal because at least it's not proprietary hardware. The clip is much more functional than the Cleric 2, but it doesn't look as good. It's just a plain Jane deal, but you know, that's not all that big a deal. It is kind of double tiered here for deep carry. You can stop it here, or you can go all the way down to where it just completely disappears in your pocket. But it'd be hard to get it all the way with thick-seamed jeans. What else here? Action is snappy. Not exactly smooth like the Cleric, but it is quite snappy, and that is pretty cool. And then it has a usable blade. I like the single edge much better than the double edge. That's just my jam, you know what I mean? And the DLC here feels like it is a light Cerakote, which is also cool. Like Microtechs, some of the standard Microtechs, they're black on their blades is just paint, and it wears off really, really quickly. I can't tell you if this one will wear off quickly, but it feels good. It feels like it's on there pretty good, so that's cool. Blade also has some jimping that is useful, and it's kind of uncomfortable to hold the knife like this, but if you had to, you can. As far as comfort on holding the knife, it feels fine. Not quite as good as the Cleric, but it feels fine. This is a much more neutral knife. That Cleric had a lot going on. It was all over the place. As far as, you know, it's bougie as hell, but I do prefer the Cleric over this knife, but this one is still excellent. Your billboarding is going to be on the handle, so that's not a big deal. It is white and bright, but, you know, no big deal. The blade is sterile on one side and says Magna Cut on the other, and that's all there is going on there. I think it's funny that this knife is called the Colossus, and it is not big at all. If you've ever handled a Scarab from Microtech, it's a little bit smaller than that, but not by a lot. And it feels like it's what their design element, that's what they were going for. You know, not a copy, but, you know, people who like the Scarab and can't afford a Scarab, you know, might want to pick one of these up, just to save a little money and still get an excellent out the front knife. But this is not cheap by any stretch. This particular one is $470. I think they start out around $425. For a USA made knife, made very well in Magna Cut, I don't think that's overpriced. I think it's right about where it should be. You can get cheaper American out the front knives, but you know, who knows if it's going to hold up as well as this one. The blade does have your typical movement, but it's not awful. It's actually quite good. The Cleric had more movement than this one did. And it is a little better than Microtech movement. So it's not awful. So there's that. All right, guys, that's all I got for you on this video. Again, please make sure you like, subscribe, and check out Patreon if you would like to. Make sure you go check out DNK Knives if you're shopping for a knife. Also, be nice to each other. Nobody likes a douchebag. Later.